Jeff Stegman says, okay, I've set up a branded service for local business on a root domain, and I've created subdomains for regional cities. My intent is to lease out the maps listings and subdomains. For example, Ann Arbor Premier Septic Systems, Lansing Premier Septic Systems, etc. A couple of questions. Since I'm branding the service and treating each city like a franchise, I'm using the same template graphics and brand name for each website, changing only the content, city-specific NAP, JSON markup, etc. Am I going to get myself into trouble branding across subdomains like that? No, not at all, Jeff. As long as you're changing the NAP and you're changing the content slightly, and to change, as long as, okay, look, I do this with my lead gen sites where I'll create a brand and then I build out on subdomains the same brand across, and each subdomain is a different city that I'm targeting. And that's how I do it. I love doing it that way because then it makes it really easy to duplicate. However, I don't just change the geographic modifier on the sites, and obviously the NAP, that's going to change because I'm getting a new maps listing for each subdomain site as well. So I have a unique phone number, a unique URL, website address, and a unique physical address. Okay, the only thing that's the same is the company name. Okay, but all the other data points are all unique to each location. But for the content on the site, I don't just change the geographic modifiers and use the same content. I have original content written for each site, and I think that's key. I know some people will tell you, they'll use the same content and all they'll do is change out the geographic modifiers. I don't recommend doing that because even if you still can get away with that, its days are numbered, and there'll come a point in time where you'll probably get everything smacked, or everything will get slapped because of it being all duplicate content. So I don't recommend doing that. What I do is I just hire different writers for each site. And I'll literally just hire a new writer for each site to write the content. Even if it's the same keywords for every site, I just have a new writer or a different writer write it for each site so that every single site is 100% unique as far as the content. But the theme and the graphics and the brand are all the same. Okay? Makes it incredibly easy to scale. That's what I like about it. Am I going to get myself into trouble? No, not at all. I haven't had any issues with that whatsoever. Similarly, can I syndicate blog content from each city subdomain to my main branded IFTTT network? Yes, Jeff. Actually, we've talked about that multiple times in Hump Day Hangouts. I'm not picking on you, Jeff. I'm just saying, yes, we've covered that multiple times. You can absolutely, because it's the same brand, you can syndicate from all of your subdomains to one branded IFTTT network. I recommend you actually do that to begin with anyways, because you may be able to rank your subdomain sites by just using that one IFTTT network, and there'll be a lot of activity on that network that's branded. It will build authority very quickly. If you find that you're not getting the results that you want for any one of those subdomains, you can always build a location-specific branded IFTTT network for that specific subdomain. But I say, always do the bare minimum, guys, to rank your stuff, right? You guys don't overdo it, and that's the very next question is a prime example of overdoing it, and so we're going to get to that one in just a moment. But don't overdo it. Do the bare minimum, and so if you can get away with just one branded IFTTT network to accomplish what you're trying to do, Jeff, then absolutely do that. If you find that your competition levels are a bit higher in particular areas and you need some additional push, then you can always create a separate location-specific IFTTT network for the area that's giving you the trouble, or areas that are giving you the trouble, and then have a secondary network that you're syndicating content to from that specific subdomain. Okay? And yes, your thoughts about it looking natural, having a branded franchise service syndicating content from the franchisees, yes or no? That's absolutely correct. Good assumptions, Jeff. That's exactly what I do. So